Welcome to another edition of From the Front Lines, where we discuss both the day-to-day and one-of-a-kind issues facing real estate managers. I'm Suzanne Hill, and our topic today is renter loyalty programs. I'm here with Rowland Hobbs, CEO and co-founder of Stake. Welcome, Rowland.
It's so great to be here. Thank you so much.
Thanks for being here. So, Rowland, I want to talk to you about loyalty mindsets. What is the loyalty mindset, and in what other industries have we seen this?
That's a great question. So if you think about airlines, which were one of the first groups that innovated, we all fly on planes now where we get points. We use those points to go on vacation. What it was before that was a race to the bottom where airlines just competed on price. They had no, let's call it a second heat, right? To be able to inspire people to fly on them versus somebody else. Then hospitality, hotels got into it. Starwood was a huge innovator in this, now part of Marriott with Starwood Preferred Guest. They used loyalty to be able to change, to get people to not only be sticky and love their brand, but also to be able to help them get better outcomes, get people to stay longer, stay with them, even on pricing. Credit cards use cash back to be able to attract people. Think the what's in your wallet campaign, right? What's in your wallet is meant to be like the one that's giving you cash back. Costco use cash back as well to be able to grow their business. And probably the one that people don't think about as much is Amazon Prime. So Amazon Prime, very early on, Jeff Bezos said, I want to draw a moat around my best customers. He wanted to say, look, I want them to be so close to me as e-commerce is coming up. And he created Amazon Prime. And now 90 more people belong to Amazon Prime than voted in the last election. Wow. So loyalty is one of those things where you don't spend on Google or Facebook or Instagram. You don't spend on somebody else. You spend on your customers and invest in them and get a better return because they stay with you longer and take the actions that you want them to take.
Well, and you see this all the way down to, your local coffee shop where you get 10 punches and you get a free coffee, right? So it's very applicable across any industry. In that vein, how can we apply this loyalty mindset approach to property management?
Right. So there's and I love your example with the coffee shop, because there's a way that we may do this a little bit today in real estate. Sometimes it's called concessions or incentives. We may offer a 1 month free or whatnot. They tend to be put in kind of the more promotional bucket, right? Where you think about a way to be able to attract people in. But there's plenty of other actions that are important. So it's not just about a promotion. It's about changing the behavior that you want with your renters, with your customers. So in real estate, and especially in rentals, we can think about a number of things. The easiest one is getting folks to sign a lease, right? So we want somebody to sign a lease, we want them to sign it sooner. But there's also things you may think about along that way. Do you want them to show up for a tour instead of taking a virtual tour? Do you want them to put their application in sooner? But once they've moved in, you can have things like, do they pay their rent? Do they pay it on time? Do they renew at the end of their lease? Do they renew at the price you want them to at the end of their lease? Do they take care of the home? Right, for single family rentals, are they taking care of it? Do they maintain the home in a nice way? So anything, kind of think about having a magic wand and being able to say, gosh, I wish my customers would do X. That's a little bit of how loyalty should work. You should be able to wave that magic wand and actually be able to start changing behavior. So it's not the same as kind of buying more products like flying on a plane, which is an incremental decision. Housing decisions are longer term decisions, but there's plenty of small things along the way that you can change resident behavior, change renter behavior to help your portfolio do better.
And in turn, then, how can this mindset also drive that resident's satisfaction and therefore your retention at the property?
Yeah, so for Stake, where we offer cash back on all of those types of things, from signing a lease to paying your rent on time to renewing, a couple interesting things that we see. If you put all amenities next to each other, like everything there, renters will ask for cash back 80% more than anything else. Mm-hmm. So what they're saying is, and this isn't surprising when you open up almost any paper at the moment, what is everybody talking about? How much rent prices have gone up? Mm-hmm. So we're not going to be able to change that, but we can be able to get to the thing that is causing the most amount of pain, which is the price and the money. In fact, one of our renters very early days said to us, if we were doing user research and we're using all sorts of fancy terminology, and this renter said to us, hey, I'm just going to stop you. It's the money, stupid. and, it's something that we put up in the office and have up because it's the thing that's going to push that sentiment more. It's the simple thank you. Thank you for being a resident, but doing a thank you that's truly something that matters. And at the same time, for the owner, you can prove that it pushes your numbers up. So with renewals, as an example, state creates a 30% increase on average across our portfolio in renewals by offering a cashback reward.
That's amazing. I'd love to hear more success stories with Stake. Could you share another example where this kind of loyalty mindset led to some positive outcomes for both the resident and or the owner manager?
100%, yeah. So I think that let's go to keep on that renewals for a second, and we'll talk about leasing and some others. But with renewals, what an owner is trying to be able to do is that they're in a tricky situation, especially when the market's doing well. They may have a long line outside, right? People who are ready to lease, or maybe not, but to say today, you probably have a lot of people ready to lease. You would love to be able to keep your current renter. And on average in the US, renewals are about 50%. They've gone up a little bit in the last year, 53%. But if you can keep somebody and they're going to pay the same price as the folks lining up outside, you'd rather keep them. So we do a cashback reward to say, hey, why don't you renew? We start earlier than the usual renewal process, but it's all managed by the owner. They can use our CRM to manage when they get their renewal notice. And it starts with that thank you. Thank you. We know how hard it is at the moment with rent prices, and it's one of your biggest expenses. Here's 3%, 2%, 4% cashback. That percentage amount can vary with us depending on the property. And you begin with that, that thank you. If you renew, we're going to give you 2% cashback. And it starts off the conversation in such a better place. And at the same time, we push that number up 30%, right? So 30% more people are renewing than would have before. And it makes sense because a lot of times people just start shopping. They look down the street and they find an incentive there, a 1 month free offer, or something that's a little bit cheaper to be able to move into, or just something that might be more convenient for them. So you're trying to be able to get in front of that buyer before they make the decision and they renew. Now, for the renter, they're getting, just think about, on average, we're doing 4% cash back. So say every time somebody pays $1,000 a month in rent, they're getting $40 in their stake account. Well, that's a lot of money. So for the renter, they're able to save in our app. We give them cash back for even saving. We give them banking services as well. They get a free Stake Visa debit card. Anywhere they swipe that debit card, they earn more cash back. So people end up saving a lot. In fact, 65% of our renters have more money saved with us than they have saved in any other bank account. So they're truly saving and building their long-term savings.
Wow, so this is really benefiting both the resident and the manager. That's wonderful. Rowland, anything else you'd like to share about Stake and the loyalty mindset?
I think the thing to be able to think about for property owners, and this could be anybody who's managing small portfolios up to bigger portfolios, is think about the areas that you would love to be able to change. We all have that in every day we deal with customers. Gosh, I wish that they would have taken this action. And this is the place that you can create loyalty. It's a two-way street. They're not doing something that you would have liked them to do. We'll reward them for being able to do that. And every property is going to be a little bit different. We have some that are doing on leasing, renewals. We've talked about delinquency as well. But we also have some that are just like, hey, I'd like them to be able to purchase the storage unit with us, or buy the Wi-Fi from us, or shop at the retail downstairs. All of those are things that are part of loyalty, and Stake can help with to be able to help you get the action that you really want, and do it in a way where the resident's like, this is actually solving a problem for me, because hey, everybody can use a little bit more cash.
Isn't that the truth? Rowland, thanks so much for sharing the benefits of renter loyalty programs to our industry. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Visit irem.org for more knowledge to take on real estate management's most dynamic challenges. That's www.irem.org.